Hello. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Tonight is Thursday night, my favorite night of the week, because I get to host this wonderful open mic with all of you. I just was on a panel on Zoom for motherhood and hip hop, which is a first for me. The Universal Hip Hop Museum has broken ground in the Bronx. I'm so happy about that. I'm sad I wasn't in the Bronx for it, but it was in conjunction with the Universal Hip Hop Museum and Fresh and Bold and Deaf and the Hip Hop Education Center. And I was just really proud to be representing. And one thing that I got out of it is that mothers are really some unsung heroes, and but it's one of my favorite roles. It's like, to be a mother to all of you guys. I feel motherly to you. I hold space for you, but absolutely being a mother is the most important thing in my life. And I got to speak on that. And I wanted to open with a poem about it. I have an old poem. It's not new shit. It's some old shit. But this poem, I was asked to bring a voice to a woman that was buried in Woodlawn Cemetery in the Bronx. And when they assigned this woman to me, I did the research, and it turns out that she was the grandmother of the Joker on Batman back in the days, the first Joker, Cesar Romero. And they always told me that I had the Joker smile, which is true. And I am a Joker. So I thought, I was like, wow, I got assigned the Joker's grandmother. Talk about unsung heroes. So I did more research, and boom, this is the poem that came out of it. Before I do that, let me put all the people that are on the list into the chats. Everybody has 4 minutes max to do their thing. If it's some new shit, let me know. If it's your first time, let me know, and I will sing the Pop the Cherry song. I was hosting here in San Juan at the Poets Passage. I popped like 3 cherries Tuesday night. But anywho, let's get into this poem and then get into all of you. Opening up tonight is Nicole Bush, Alexander Goldberg, Joski C, Denise Washington, and GK Jayaram. Jayaram. I hope I said that right. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm so happy to be with you. It's been a crazy long day. I've been editing and doing all kinds of stuff. But let's get into this poem right here. Unsung heroes, the mothers behind so much. Carmen Miralles de Mantilla is what it says on my grave. Instead, this is what I wish was engraved. Keeper of revolution, refuge of true love. Each of my bones holds the marrow of tomorrow. Larger than life are my truths, uncontained by this tomb. My journey still travels. Wings in flight are my memories. Venezuela, mi tierra maternal. Cuba, the father of my birth. New York, the trench of my mystery. Safety was found in my arms, martillada by destiny, buried in Woodlawn. I was considered the savior of a poet's heart. My name recited over land and seas, grandmother of a Joker so legendary, the first of his kind to be welcomed on TV. With a Batman's bang and boom, the world knew of my Cesar Romero, but not of the secrets only my womb could tell. As my heart pounded against oppression, Spain gave me reason to keep a patriot safe. Between Dos Rios was his final escape. I was destined to provide beyond labels of who he might be. I saved him from demons that could not fight me. Time and love treated us kindly. Take a look at the night sky for a sight of me. The moon is my smile. I shine with thoughts of your contemplation. My blood is the ink of history's pen, and the earth holds the pages of my life story. A seed planted in the 1800s still bears fruit. Each season sweetens with your remembrance. But if you need proof of my reverence, listen to Cuba's beloved Jose Marti. These are the words he spoke of me. No he conocido en este mundo mujer mejor. No puedo ni podré nunca pensar en ella sin conmoverme y ver más clara y hermosa la vida. I've never known a better woman in this world. I can't, nor will I ever think of her without being moved to see how clear and beautiful life is. With love and destiny, I rest in peace. Carmen Miralles de Miraya, Mantilla. Dios mío. So, are we ready to get this going? Are we ready to get this flowing? All of my people, what's up? Let me unmute all and see what's good. Who's in the room?
What's going on?
Hi.
What's up, everyone?
What's up, everyone?
What's happening, everybody?
Here.
Hey.
Hi.
The room.
Great,
You too, Kyle.
Come on.
And Lisa, so good to see you.
You too.
Don't you like things?
How you doing?
All right, look at all these beautiful people. Man, is it great to see you. Okay, so let me check and see that Nicole Bush is in the room. Are you here, Nicole? No, she's not. So Alexander Goldberg, let's ask to unmute the GOAT Goldberg out in Cali. What's good?
Yeah, everything's great. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see everyone here. So before I start my poem, I wanted to make a quick explanation of the term because not everybody might be familiar with it. So Gulag was a department in the Ministry of the Interior, which was made up of concentration camps under Stalin. And the courageous fighters with the totalitarian regime were kept there. So my poem is called Gulag 2.0. Living standards are falling. We don't know what may come. Could the social explosion blow them off like a bomb? There are multiple reasons. They should be understood. There are not enough prisons. There is not enough food. People who have protested, those who marched and who led, will be first ones arrested. People who ask for bread, people who ask for money, people who make demands will be first ones arriving to the new labor camps. Stalin's government wanted the renewed labor force. It was sending the convicts on the way to the north. There were dissidents, people who have traveled that road. Many times they have been there. Many haven't returned. Prisoner was told, buddy, use your head to survive. I don't know anybody who left this place alive. They have been through the fire, but they did not repent, and the evil empire has collapsed at the end. Though they came out triumphant, Frontline moved to the east. Many prisoners locked up. They are still not released. Russia had Gulag started. Putin wants it revived. We're at war with his country and continue to fight. Thank you.
All right, Alexander Goldberg, the GOAT Goldberg, always giving us that history with a humanitarian heart. Thank you, Alexander.
Thank you so much.
All right, so now let's see what's good with Joski C.
Hola, bruja.
Hey, Joski.
Hey. So I've got two pieces of poem and a song. Both are old.
Wait a minute, I don't see you. I'm seeing myself. Is
You
that
don't see me?
no?
I'm the guy with the guitar.
I know. Does anybody else see him? Because I'm seeing myself here. I should be seeing you.
No, still know me?
Let's see oh, there you go, Joski C. All right.
Great. Okay.
Send my love to your wife. I see she won't be performing with us tonight. And thank you again for the donation. I received it. You guys are just so loving. Thank you. I'm so excited to hear you, Joski.
Oh, you're welcome. So this is a poem I wrote, and I'm going to follow it with a song. This is called Memorial Day. As flares leap, night retreats to shadow. Wisps of smoke hover and glide, ethereal remnants of a verdant land. Perhaps they are evicted souls searching for an explanation. Our children waken to the acrid smell, attach arms like prosthetic limbs, then gently step between the vines. Told who to blame, aim for the heart. Children wearing uniforms colored different than ours. Kids clothed in country dress. Adolescents in t-shirts and pants, indicted by age, targeted by suspicion. Children's play kicks up the dust. A translucent veil hangs, then folds, revealing ancient rituals. Beneath overhanging thatch, the watching of mothers as babies suckle breasts. A white crane lifts its gentle wings as if to embrace, takes flight from this village where someone was nice to children wearing uniforms colored different than ours. This all took place in their backyard, where our children trespassed, carrying guns. Better to shoot than be shot upon was the modus operandi, the instruction, the sin we taught our children. Years old, still in high school. Ain't got no job, ain't got no plan. Don't know which road leads out of nowhere. It's when I met the recruiter man. Whoa. He marched down the hall of my high school, tracked me right to my homeroom. 18, you don't need your parents, but Uncle Sam needs you. We got to export freedom straight from the land of the free. Break down their doors and show them freedom. Search the premises for promises. Empties the pantry. We'll give you a real good job. We'll give you a real good skill. We can set the world on fire, country by country. You walk down the halls of my high school, track me right to my homeroom. 18, you don't need your parents, but Uncle Sam needs you. We'll give you a real good job. We'll give you good skill, all the best technology, all designed to kill, kill, kill. We got to export, export freedom straight from the land, land of the free. Break down their doors and show them freedom. Search the premises for promises. Empty is the pantry.
Wow, Joski C. Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank
it, Bruno.
you, Joski. Wow, everybody's loving everything that you've done, exporting freedom. Wow. So powerful. Thank you, Joski C. Your music is just is beautiful and conscious between your poetry and your music and just everything and the love you exude. I just love it. Thank you so much, Joski C.
Thank you, Bruja, and thank you to everyone. Much love.
Doing it up. Wow. All right. Now let's see Denise Washington. Hello, Denise. Asking to unmute. Come on in, Denise. Are you here?
I'm here. Hold on one second. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let me turn off the TV. Usually you call me like really, really late, so you surprised me. So I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Let me get it together here.
And if you could turn your camera on, that would be awesome.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay.
No camera? Can you turn your camera on so we can see you or no?
Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. Hold on one second. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Where is? Let me get it on. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was looking for the list and I was like, I know I'm at the end, but anyway. Okay.
I posted it up and it says you are fourth.
Wow. Okay. Can you see me?
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
Where are you tonight?
I am in California.
Cali representing.
Yes, Cali in the house. Okay. All right. Okay, so this one is another tribute to our brother that we lost, George Floyd, and just was born out of last year and clearly still reflects today. Okay. Okay, so this is called Birthing Pains. I see America is going through birthing pains, needed to get baptized and born again. 200-year-old baby still sucking his thumb. Couldn't see people as people, so much hate it was numb. Hate makes you not see, not feel, not hear, not heal, not speak, not seek, not taste. The bitter the heart becomes, not feel the numbness of ignorance passed down. You see, you raise human connection, development milestones. People teach and say it's like a kitten being taught as a fish. Now, wouldn't that be some shit? Teaching that's not even fair. The kitten will drown in the ocean, the fish will drown in the air. It can't breathe when it's not in the right element. George could not breathe with all that hatred and strife. Who taught Derek Chauvin that his thinking was okay? Because it cost America George's life. Hate makes you not think, not seek, not grow, not know, not lead, not show, not open, not close the door to discrimination. You see, hate, it's an invitation. Be a sheep, not bold. Keep your mouth closed. It's a threat, it's intimidation. It's follow the leader in a racist nation. The peer pressure of racism, that's a pressure so tight, it's like a white only socialism. You know that's not right. From the 50s and 60s, this country's mentally messed up. We shouldn't be here today. It's 2020. What's up? And tell your friends to pull up. We made computers and cell phones, but America wasn't growing. How could those 4 officers not be knowing? 4 descendants, French, Indonesian, Irish, Chinese. How could you come to this country and turn your back against me? Shame, shame, shame on you. Each discriminated against, and this is what you do? They say America is like a quilted blanket. Somebody bleached, starched, turned it into a white sheet. If you don't grow from crawling, how can you walk? If you don't grow from mumbling, how can you talk? We put a man on the moon, but where's the man in your mind who taught you to be evil, not loving and kind? That racism is wrong, that discrimination is ungodly. That profiling is a setup for the mind to become messed up. Hate makes you stupid, it makes you dumb. No more articulate words, look how low you succumb. If you pull out your wallet, you get shot. What? If you go for a run, you get popped. Really? If you concede hands up, you still get shot in the back. If you express yourself, you're killed in a cell for talking? That's whack. Hate takes the human out of you. It takes your mind. It says wrong is right and the truth is a lie. Hate makes you not speak, not seek, not teach, not reach, not feel, not heal, not pray, not say. You're going the wrong way. Let's turn this around today. Racism is taught. Stop teaching it. Racism makes you weak. Stop seeking it. We have 5 senses. The human body is tight. It is designed to tell us when things are not right. Hate makes you not think, not heal, not speak, not tell, not touch, not feel, not sense, not smell. The stench of 200 plus years of hate. It's an ugliness too bitter to taste. Hate makes you not wake, not dream, not seek, not seem, alive, conscious, or aware of a live human being. That's your own brother right there. Hate makes you not see, not be, not you, not me, not us, not we. We cannot breathe. This was not the United States. This was not home of the brave. So let us be. We hold these things. Let us open our eyes and let us see. Let us talk, let us hold, let us walk, let us be bold. Let us be the U and the S. And this time, the U and the S, us, these United States. And this time, for Black people too. So let these birthing pains turn into growing pains. And may the real America stand up and be born again.
Denise Washington. Woo! Speaking that truth, you went off. Yes.
Thank you.
The chat right here, birthing pains into growth. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, we have to. Got to keep it going.
Follow you, and then we are gonna go on to Jay.
Yes. Right now I'm just on Instagram. I'm at Denise L. Washington, and just tell your friends and your family, everybody. I'm trying to share you.
All right, it froze. Okay, Denise, put any info in the chat, and thank you. I'm so glad we got to hear your poem. Yes. Tuesday night, when I hosted that open mic, we dedicated it to George Floyd. I opened up with my poem that is in the book Paul La Torre put together, right? We Can't Breathe. I think there's a volume 2 coming. But now let's see. GK Jayaram.
Yes,
Hello again. Nice to see you.
nice to see you. Looks beautiful. Should I?
What's your poem about tonight? Is it something new?
Yes, it is something new. It is a 4-minute musical to be continued. It's called Poems at Midnight. A one-scene play happens in a bar somewhere in Midtown Manhattan, 12 midnight. The bar is called Sotely Tober. Patrons are sprawled all over, one at a table, socially distanced. Some are writing longhand on napkins and notebooks. Some are drinking melancholy. Some are doing both, and some are sleeping. The bartender, the MC, welcome to the revolution. As we begin the midnight hour, let it be recorded for posterity that this is the first secret meeting of A to the power of 5, American Association of Alienated Alliterative Artists, aka Rhymesters Union, to celebrate the inebriated poets who swear by the motto, "Gimme rhyme, gimme death." We have a contest, and there are 4 poems in the next few minutes. Let the listeners judge a 6-pack of the brew on the house for the winner. Ready, set, go. Mr. T.S., the poet, starts. What's a man to do when he's feeling blue? What's a man to do when he's feeling blue? Don't have a clue. Don't have a clue. All right, I confess, I do like, probably to excess, a drop or two of that elixir of success. Any brew would do. Just give me the access. It makes the blood flow quicker, though after a while the lights seem to flicker and the belly and the brain bicker. The pleasure point says yes, the pain point says no, and I caught in between feel sicker and sicker. I so remember that song from that old Western I used to sing along. How did it go? Wait your turn, partner, for the right girl to come along. Wait your turn, partner. Where are you, right girl? When, oh, when are you coming along? Seeking salvation from a single malt? Even the damn malt is single. Where are all the women gone? Another poet stands up, Mr. Cheers. Ah, amigo, you worry too much. He tap dances to the lyric. Don't you see? It's time to just be. Don't you see? It's time to just be. Pam 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 param pam 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 param pam pam. And then Mr. Aristotle stands up, ponderous. He says, "It ain't fair." That's my poem. It ain't fair that the pretty girl next door grows into a shapely matron while I have to slide sideways into revolving doors. It ain't fair that when I can finally afford vintage, I must desist, and act my bloody age. Your tummy is in a flux with acid reflux. Pull the throttle on hitting the bottle. But what do I care? I still have my own hair, I still have my own teeth, and God forbid if I live to be 100, I still have to have you to fight with. It ain't fair that every man's cuss word in every language rapes every female relative, mother especially favored. What's wrong with men? It ain't fair to men. Equal opportunity, I say. Why not father fucker? Do you have to hate a woman even when you hate a man? It ain't fair if you kill one, you go to the gallows. If you kill a million, glory follows. Something wrong in the state of Denmark, to quote Shakespeare, since I have no further remark. But what do I care if I still have my flair for all things lovely and fair? Blood still flows hot in all my veins. Yes, everywhere, God forbid. And if I live to be 100, I'll still have you to chase in my wheelchair. It ain't fair that Tulsa happened 100 years ago, George Floyd 1 year ago, and as we speak, killing fields continue. It ain't fair that poems have to end when you're just around the bend. In a finale, I end, if I may, on behalf of us all. It ain't fair that death closes all, just when I'm beginning to know what it's all about, the unfairness of it all to get the referee's call, just as you saw the goal, we're about to kick the ball. A chorus of snores greet the last stanza, and a sleeper murmurs, God forbid, it is sordid to be so morbid. To be continued.
Woo! GK Jayaram, that was brilliant. The storytelling, the music. I could hear music even though there was no music. It was so great. Thank you for that. So lovely.
Thank you.
And he said it was new shit. That was piping. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Whew. So much fun. You guys are amazing. Let's see what's up with Rivki.
Hi.
Hi.
I haven't been to a poetry in a long time, so I'm really excited to be here.
Oh,
Um,
tonight. Where are you tuning in from?
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I live here with my son.
BK in the building.
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought
Great.
I'd sprinkle what's at a flavor of like a few different really short poems. That's okay, awesome. BK in the building, in a building. So the first is called From Spoken Word to Spoken Heart. This heart language, the very rarest form of language from them all. So easy to be lost between the lines of one generation to the next. It is the one language that unites us all because it is our conscious and unconscious melded together as dancing partners. It is the siren song rising from inside each of us, seducing our own hearts to light up to their fullest potential. It is the unspoken language communicated from our hearts through our bodies, our energies, our souls. It is all the quiet and fully present moments in between the words. It is the silent voice inside us, peeking into the, it is the silent voice inside us, peeking into the windows of our souls, diving through our eyes into our most authentic selves. The second poem is a little bit of like a riddler, like a wordplay, where it uses the word sense, so sense of self. Life does not make sense, and that is what makes sense. When we make sense out of no sense, we are applying our senses to our least common sense and most healthy self. And the next one is a recent one, actually. It's 2 weeks ago, around it's Mother's Day, and it's to my son on Mother's Day. Mom, my hearing loss, it's better. I can hear you. Pause, then states in a factual manner. It's not gone. It's still with me. I hear this from my son calling out to me from the next room as he overhears what I'm saying. I feel a welling of tears and laughter bubbling up in me all at once. Can you imagine such a soul? A wondrous healer? He heals by seeing with his soul and saying something from his heart. He heals by believing with his heart and then sharing love from his soul. He heals with his clarity and transparency. He heals with his thoughtful tenderness. Ultimately, he just loves with his whole being. And that's what it all boils down to, isn't it? Love. The next one is also about love. I guess there's a theme tonight. It's called The Shape of Your Love. And this is about the love of my life right now. And I wrote it about us and him. And I met you looking onto our looking onto your outwards and peering inwards. And then I joined you, your embrace circling me, the shape of your love painting us to be together for eternity. And now I peer outwards from our inwards, looking up into the light with a glint in my twinkly eyes, smiling sweetly, cute as a button, and ready as ever to rumble into trouble. I don't know if I have time for the last one. It's pretty brief. It's one more. Yeah, okay. So this one's called Surrendering to My Grief. It's from a few months ago. When wind hails from afar, I face it, allowing it to come towards me, bowing me into surrender, reviving my breath as it whispers serenity into the deepest seat of my soul. And in that settling is my seeing, my soul seeking, the storm of life surrounding me, gradually softening me into pliability. It is the present gifting that gives me a sense of uplifting. The moment I choose to gift onto my present, rooting deeply, holding carefully, carrying slowly, seeding thoughtfully into my wisdom tree. I can lean back now with trust and see clearly how Mother Nature holds me so tenderly, cradled by her nurturing branches and leaves, encouraging me to treasure the experience as my soul grieves, finding expansion and peace in my pain-releasing sigh of relief. That's it.
Oh,
Thank
Rifki.
you.
All right. Let me tell you, there is no love like a poet's love, okay? So when we love, boy, we change worlds. And it's evident in the way your son loves and in the way that you love the love of your life. Beautiful. Thank you, Rifki, for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure to hear you. Man, woof! A poet's love. It's nothing like it. Ain't that right, Elise? Let's see what's good with Elise Vercella.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, cool. All right, so I did want to
Here you go. Yeah.
share. Okay, all right. I did want to share two quick poems. One I did write for George Floyd. This is called Breath Be a Mountain. This is not a poem about forgiveness. Forgiveness has not been won. I do not think even now that it was ever offered. This is a poem about a mountain, distant and capped by snow, melting into mirage like the horizon in a desert. They say at 8,000 feet, breath becomes harder to procure. The lungs' response to this lack of oxygen is to tighten the vessels of blood. 8 minutes and 46 seconds. After the heart stops, the brain can survive without oxygen up to 6 minutes. I grow a new kind of hatred toward tourists who demand to climb Mount Everest. 15 to 20 chest to chest, waiting in line for a photo while stepping over a body. Once this mountain was holy, a pilgrimage to benevolence. Perhaps one day I will forgive the mountain his heresy. Perhaps the dead will breathe again.
Ooh.
Okay, and then I've got one more poem. It's new. I've been working on some new poems.
New shit.
New shit. Yeah, heavy. Okay, we're gonna just make it through this poem. This is called Inaccurate Histories. Maybe my great-grandparents didn't take a steamer trunk and head to Ellis Island to eat pasta with cockroaches in a 4-story walk-up in Harlem with no air conditioning. Maybe the only heaviness my great grandmother had to carry from the bus up the flights of stairs were her rubies and emeralds and diamonds and pearls and not the groceries. Maybe my great grandpa had a happy family with a mother and father, and he knew his real last name. Wasn't dropped off on the doorstep of some family friend, never to speak of that family again. Maybe he didn't run booze and cheat at cards or eat rats while in prison fighting another man's war. Maybe this is all a farce. And I wasn't born in the middle of a swamp with mafia at the corner of the streets with the little white house and Ambrose's candy store. Maybe I was born into more. There were no bodies buried under the boardwalk boards. The beach was clean, the sand was white, nobody contracted AIDS and died. I didn't grow up. I didn't grow up. I made this all up. There is no family straining against the nooses of their history. There is nothing leaking from the roof. There is nothing breaking. Thank you, guys.
Yes. Thank you for that.
That was a hard one to write.
But obviously you needed to do it. You needed to get it out of you. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me share that. Thanks, guys.
You're just the sweetest. You already know that, right?
Yeah. I love you guys so much.
You just have a beautiful heart. Keep writing those new things, getting those things out of you. So profound, vulnerable, authentic. Thank you, Elise.
Thank you.
Yay, Elise Velsela. Wow. Going in. Whew. Okay. Well, I know that the list says John O'Connor. I see a John Lucas, but I don't see a John O'Connor. So let me know if John Lucas, if that's you, because I was asking in the chat. But Poeta Ku in Japan is here. I know that much. So you know what? Let's go to Poeta Ku, and if John Lucas is John O'Connor, let me know, and then we'll bring you up next. But let's hear what's good all the way from Japón. Hi, Poeta.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm so super glad and excited because May 28th, tomorrow, is for me a 1 year anniversary of making debut of New York Poets Cafe. At that time, Thursday nights, Blue Hats Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Happy anniversary, Poeta Ku, performing 1 whole year with us. That is so great. I'm so excited. You know, there's nobody like you, Poeta Ku. Nobody.
Thank you so much. Tonight's new sheet, 18 pieces, number 18. Title is Hello Goodbye. In fact, Monday nights I perform a bad guy, so tonight is a good poet, like New York poets all. I hope you all enjoy it. Hello. Hello. I know they said it, but leave your home tonight. As far away from this as possible. Cause we're gonna bomb. There are hundreds. This bomb is a peace bombing. That's why I'm giving you this kind order. We are the army of justice. As proof of this, I'm calling you on your home phone, not your cell phone. We are the nation of justice, so we know all your personal info. Please be assured, we won't peep in your bed. Just protect you from the enemy. You call us enemy, but that's a big mistake. As the saying goes, a traitor winning the wars. We are fighting this enemy for you, and the bombers will be destroy this enemy, your real enemy. So it doesn't matter if you lose a house or two. Life's a treasure. So please run away tonight. Life's a treasure. As long as you're alive, things will work out. If you die, it's all over. So please run away. Disco is a sign of a friendship. Run away with the music. Dialects of individual fascinade stränge Människan bröder båda saker trygga men what are you waiting for? Run away quickly! If you don't follow me, after this world, don't give a fuck anymore. Peace is achieved through action. If it's just word, even an idiot can speak then. Let me show you the proof that I'm not idiot. So long, my friend. Goodbye. 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 Pray for peace. Pray for justice. Thank you so much.
Whoa! Poeta cool! Man, what it must be like to live in your head, man. What you said, all the way from Japan. That shit was crazy. Yes!
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
See you next time. Thank you.
See you next time. Thank you, Poetaku. Follow him. Let me stay quiet so it shows up. Nope, that's showing up. Well, you already see the brilliance all the way from Japan celebrating 1 whole year with us here at the New Eureka Poets Cafe Thursday night online open mic. Now let's see what's good with Marissa Prada. Oh man, Marissa, how you gonna follow that?
Oh my God, that was amazing. Poetic coup. I am doing an impersonation poem now about you. I'm going to make it too. I can't wait. I'm so fucking, I'm very inspired now. I am a poet from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I have this lip gloss. Actually, it's really funny. I'm putting it on right now. It's a coconut mousse lip gloss, and you'll know why it's important in a minute. This is very hot, very sexy. Nisa! Mute your computer, okay? Like, turn it off, leave the room, take a flight, get out of town. You don't want to be around for this poem, okay? There's my warning, Nisa. All right, I just wrote this like 2 hours ago in a workshop. So here we go.
Wait, who taught, whose workshop was it?
So this was Finn Bell. Well, it was a game, poetry games with Domo Beth. It was Finn Bell who did the poetry games. And so this was one of the prompts. Some of you in the room have heard it. The rest of you have not.
Well, like I always tell Nisa, close your eyes.
Close it all, Nisa. Just shut it down and come back in like 3 minutes or 4 minutes. All right, here we go. Yes, I love, this is hot. This is hotness. It's titled Cocoa Nuts. Coconut. It must be coconut, the oil you bring to bed. Pop the top and squirt it all over my breasts. Pull some in your palm, oozing oil between fingers. Rub your palms warm before venturing to my skin. It melts down my chest, body heating its journey south, nipples taut at attention, nose awoke to fragrances that will always equal you. Run your fingertips along my lower lip, lubricating my opening there. Drag your touch down my neck. Feel this pumping pulse just under my skin. Faster, faster. Still slow your roll down my mountains, poet man. Across my collarbone, your bone-hard penis pushes to escape into me, but not yet. Coconut drips from the tips of my nipples, splashes fall on my toes as I stand all my parts at attention for you, man. Your hands move to see if my breasts fill them, and you squeeze. You squeeze me so fucking hard, each nipple one at a time, a personal introduction to their new master. Silky, warm, wet hands follow the drips down, down, down to my belly button. Hover just above the line of pubic hair. You stare at it, trimmed, entranced, kept well for your arrival, revival, arousal. It tickles your fingertips, and I see your erection rage up and down, pulses plead to feel for itself. I want to see it. I want to touch it. I want to suck it. Your coconut fingers forge fracking of oil, and you push between my labias and onto my clit. I gasp a breath as not to faint. You move around it in small concentric circles, calling cum from my pussy that drips just as much as the oil. Viscous self-lubrication, salty, sweet, sticky. Your finger enters me, an explorer of all things that call for you. Fuck me with your coconut finger. Make me come all over your coconut finger. You breathe a whisper. Come, baby, you say. Creamy coconut cum creations flood from my body, evaporate to our nose as I let it all go. You know me now, man. Continue to call me to come, for I am the great flood Noah feared. I will quench your thirsty and purify your soul. Your fingers refuse to quit my clit. I come to your voice as you say my name, as you call me baby. And I realize you are no longer make-believe. And now we can work on your cocoa nuts.
Work on them coconuts, boo. Damn.
Yes, that was very hot. That was a fun prompt. It was a 7-minute write.
Damn.
Come find me. Come find me. I'm on Facebook, Marissa Prada, IG, Prada Painting and Poetry. I do have a private erotic group, Prada Erotica, on Facebook. I co-author The Word is Right, WRITE. And of course, I have my own publishing house, Red or Green Books. Red is READ, right here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Thanks, Theo.
Yes, Marissa. Oh my gosh. On some coconut paper, her books are printed.
Thank you, La Bruja. Mwah. Besos por todos.
Marissa. Woo wee. I will never look at coconuts the same. I don't think I can. How the hell you write that in class? I don't know. Like, I don't even know that I could go there in class. Like, I need to take that class. You know what I'm saying? Give me that.
I might do an erotic workshop. I think I might do that.
You should. You really, really should.
DG even had to cover his camera. Like, Joski's nowhere to be found. Like, they're falling like flies, dropping like flies. But yeah. Thank you, La Bruja.
You're welcome. If they're covering their cameras, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I don't think it's to not listen. But anywho, Easter Poetic Desire is next. We're gonna keep on this desirous roll. Let's see what's good. Are you talking about some coconuts or what?
No, not tonight. Always hard to follow the sexy and, you know, interesting arousal of Marissa. But anyways, wonderful.
We have like a very Sleepy Hollow-esque backdrop. What is good?
Kind of goes with the few pieces I chose. So 3 short pieces. Basically, I do 6-word memoirs. So if you don't know, that's where you basically write your thoughts in 6 words, and you can get some interesting things that way. And a lot of times I come up with the thought and it turns into some poems. So I'm going to share a few of those today. All right, the first one is called Fell Prey to Perilous Procrastination Persuasions. Stalking me throughout the day, haunting me in my sleep, the predator of procrastination victimizes and creeps, provoking plunging postponements, proving you sow what you'll reap. Falling prey to procrastination's catalytic vivications is enough to make me weep from deprivation of sleep. As I try to get through this work pile heap before I hear that dreaded deadlines, beep, beep, beep. The next one is called Skeletons Buried, Never Unearthed or Reawakened. Though my ghosts and I seek closure in the wakening hours, may my skeletons never see the light of day. Lay beneath my feet, buried deep underground. Allow me to step across this earthly soil, released from your sins, never to be unearthed. My hollowed skeletons cast away to an eternal sleep. May you never be rendered to find me in my waking hours. And then the last one for tonight is my Inspirations Cued by Dreary Days. Dreary days bring cloudy skies, darkened rooms which shade my eyes. Set me up to look within my mind's eye, see where it's been. Its shadowed crevices lives on for ages, stockpiling notions with contemplative dungeons, released upon a dreary day, revealing what I need to say. Good night.
All right, Easter Poetic Desire. That sound, it was very old Englishy. It did match the backdrop. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You can find me Facebook, Instagram, Poetic Desire, spelled with a K. 6-word memoirs is Poetic Pisces. And actually on Saturday, June 5th at 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be a feature with Mr. Speaker on Poetic Heat, which is on Facebook, and it'll be in the chat.
Thank you. Check all that out. Keep on Easter Poetic Desire. 6-word memoirs. I gotta think about what I'm gonna write. I have to write 6 words then now. Oh my goodness, putting me to task. Thank you, Poetic.
You're welcome.
You already know. Now, let's hear from Nisa, the one everyone's always worried that's gonna hear this stuff.
Hi.
Our blooming comic and truth teller. Hi, Nisa.
Hi. So my stand up for today is, so it's just about school because my school ended today. It was sad, but so school. With some of my older teachers, I would write a paragraph in pretty much Shakespearean to ask for the smallest thing. Like, why haven't you graded my project? So, for example, dearest Mrs. Smith, it's been a mere 3 weeks since I assigned the due date of our project, with 60% of my grade. Marry thy busy, but I prithee that thou will take a moment to read this email and be privy that my grade is 40% right now. Woo. Wow. I never thought I'd have to use that Shakespearean writing class I took last summer, but here I am at the end of 6th grade using it. Y'all made me pull it out of my drive's trash folder. With some of my more chill teachers' emails, though, it was like, Mr. Smith, you forgot to grade my assignment. Lol. Anyway, but school ended today for me, so I will not have to worry about that anymore. But my friends were tearing up on our last classes of the day, saying goodbye to everyone.
some of my teachers, sure, they're great, they're fine. But the amount of sadness my friends were like having, they were spamming crying emojis in our group chat. Now maybe it's my inability to truly express emotions in front of others because of my crippling depression and trauma. But maybe it's also that my teachers weren't that good. I mean, like, they aren't bad, but they're not like cry myself to sleep worthy. A lot of them I will not miss. Like Miss T. She talked to us like we were 5. The projects were okay, but we had to use a stupid website called learning.com for homework. And let me tell you, it was bad. It would show you this cartoon video explaining some pretty simple concepts, sorry. And then you would have to do whatever they just explained. So like if they explained coding, you would have to code. But every time you made a wrong click, they would say in the fakest customer service voice that you will ever hear, that's not it. It's really annoying. And they will do that like 3 times, and then they'll show you how to do it and give you no credit for the question or whatever you did coding. And I hated it. I always got super low grades on them. But it was fine because I got hundreds on the other tests. Yes. But at one point, Miss T asked, what was your favorite part of learning.com? And I honestly said that it was only, my favorite part of learning.com was that it was only 15% of my grade. Oh, wait. Anyway, moral of the story, Shakespearean is weird, and extra credit points get you a 98 in Mrs. P's class. Thank you.
Nisa! Nisa, you're a G. You're a genius. You already know that, right?
Yeah.
You get 100 plus squared. I'm a terrible grader, but you get it. You get the A pluses.
Thank you.
Yes, Nisa. Crippling depression. I hope that's a joke.
I mean, I'm going to therapy. It's only partly because of you guys.
Oh, honey. Therapy is good. Therapy is very important. I went to therapy and look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Nisa, you're the awesomest. You already know that, right? Just love it. I just love it. And congratulations on ending your school year. And I hope that the next year and semester just is even better than ever. Okay? Yes, you matter, Nisa. You got so much love in this room. You ever feel any kind of depression, you can write to me. Okay? I will get you right out of that. Now, this woman always lifts my spirits because you got to listen to this woman right here, Monica Berger, Monica Metronome Berger. This right here, always empowering. Nisa, this you could listen to. What's good, Monica?
Hey, my love, I missed you. Thank you.
Where have you and all your footwear?
I know I've been having a brawl with life, so you have to excuse me, but I'm thriving.
Hey, snakeskin, you're back, Monica. That's what matters.
That's right. Never will I be gone. All right. This is called Dear Oppression. Dear oppression, you took my radiance away once, making me believe I wasn't worth it, making me forfeit my right to be the womanly power birthright, projecting your insecurity onto we. Whoa, man, your power and greed is so unappealing. I'm so glad I can see so clearly now, awake to the truth of this premeditated, intentional conditioning from the beginning, attacking my spirit from within, starting with the oh so famous, shutting the voice down. Never again will my radiance be taken away. Eyes wide open, heart on fire, heart Heads in the cloud, feet on my hoverboat, forever heading toward the light, blind to your greedy need for power. You will not blow my candle out to enable yours to burn brighter. I will set the whole cake on fire. Oppression, you will no longer press down on me, trying to squeeze out my personality with the constant messages of unworthiness, with your control and abuse mixed in with a heaping spoonful of suffering and domination sprinkled in. Persecution and cruelty are your henchmen, taken forth with their iron hand, but I have overcome. Awake to the truth that as soon as woman turns 40, you have to make her feel like she's over the hill, nothing to offer, when really you're afraid of her great power and wisdom. That's when it begins. But you need to try your hardest to make her believe she's no longer attractive sexually, cast aside from society. Hear me, oppression. Never again will I apologize for holding space. Never again will I say sorry for breathing. A state that women are conditioned to be in. I officially step out of the invisible landmine that is designed to blow up my mind and kill my soul. Never again will I be someone's scapegoat. Do not project your insecurities onto me. They don't belong to me. Keep them, deal with them or not, but do not throw your hot potato at my frame. I will no longer play your lame ass game. Never again will I be polite to the unkind. Never again will I make someone feel comfortable when they're making me feel uncomfortable. When I pass your presence, I will secure my gas mask. Never again will I breathe your toxic breath. Never again will I agree to your insults that hide behind your just kidding bullshit. Never again will I laugh at a joke that's at my expense. Never again will I be gaslit by your devious lies. I will stick the Venus flytrap to your lip. Never again will I quit my dreams because I'm afraid to be worth it. Never again will I bend down low, stopping my flow. Fuck your murder of crows that your tongue releases. Who jobless, no man can curse. Never again will I put myself last when I deserve to be first. Never again will I fall for your decision. Never again will I believe your delusion. I will always be something that you will never be, and that's reality. Never again will I.
Wait, it muted after I forget what the last word was. Never again. Oh man, she said that a bunch of times. Wait, it muted like the last 3 sentences. Why is that?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, yes, it muted briefly, like for the last 3 sentences we missed.
Okay. Never again will I fall for your decision. Never again will I believe your delusion. I will always be something that you will never be, and that is reality. Never again will I be stabbed in the back because I see you in the front. Never again will I compromise myself. Never again will I betray myself for someone else. Never again will I smell the bullshit. Never again will I fall for your tantrum fit. Never again will I squint to try to see past your smoke screen. Never again will I shed a tear for you. Never again will I waste my breath on you. Never again will I argue with you. Never again will I say prayers to the devil. I say never again will I will give my heart away to the blood clot. Never again will I waste my energy on you and drain myself. Never again will I be fooled by the wolf and his sheep persona. Never again will I be the fool. Never again will I show my weakness. Never again will I ignore my intuition. Never again will I pretend it's okay when it's not. Never again will I doubt what I know in my heart. Never again will I say never.
Oh, metronome Monica Berger. Yo, you have all the hype poems, like how to get yourself hyped up to not deal with the bullshit anymore. Monica Berger poems, like straight across the board. Thank you, Monica. It's so great to see you. I'm so happy you joined us.
Thank you. Yeah, I missed you. I couldn't take another week, so thank you.
God. Thank Jah, you made it.
Yes,
And I love it. I love it. I love those colors. I love everything you bring. Monica Metronome Berger. Stay strong. You know that no matter what, whatever bullshit you're dealing with here, it's all love.
Thank you. Love you all.
Monica Berger. What? Yo, never again will you fall for the dumb shit. Never again. The whole gaslighting, you always bring to light like that whole thing. It's so true, you know, those relationships. And that poem right there is some definite lunar eclipse, full moon energy. Move out the old toxic and in with the preservation and lifting up of self. Yep. Somebody said, Yeah, Nisa, all right. She said you're an unstoppable bad bitch force, honey.
Oh,
Whap, whap.
I have arrived. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Sheesh. Now let's go all the way to India with our favorite Unmesh Mohitkar. Unmesh.
Hello, La Bruja. How are you?
Great. I'm doing great. Great to see you. How are you doing?
I am great. I am great. Thank you. So, I will be doing two short ones and one bit longer one. So, here we go. Access keys. Access keys to happiness. Access keys to happiness and illusion. Keys are just to lock happiness out. Keys are just to lock happiness out. That was the first one. Second one, mellow down. Mellow down. Now he only watches the burning fires, changing gears, rampaging needlessly. That was the second one. And this is the third one, a bit longer one. Never ending road, ever connected oceans, unfathomable skies. Imagine if the sun breaks up. Imagine if the moon loses light. Imagine if the oceans go dry. But there are people who are not supposed to break. Breakups are for the free souls who die in peace, but for the tormented, even after death, the agony stays. Breakup is not for them. Breakup is painful, not as painful as being broken forever. Yes, there are people who are not supposed to break, like carrying a never healing injury. Even compassion hurts. Breakups and breakdowns are for the lucky ones who can go away. The flood comes and goes. The lightning strikes and goes. The cyclone falls and goes. And there are people who are not supposed to break. Families broken, life stolen, people suffering. The pain never goes away. A caged bird whose wing is broken. Lonely plant in a desert, waiting for the rains. Sometimes even the skies break up. But there are people who are not supposed to break. The cloud burst open and weep as if everything is lost. What about the sun? No, he can't end. He has no choice but to burn endlessly. And the world prospers in the heat of his flames. No, the sun cannot break up. Yes, there are people who are not supposed to break. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, Unmesh. Breakups and breakdowns. You broke that shit down for real, though. Ooh. Breakups. So, is that a new poem?
No, it was an old one. I just saw it once again and I just wanted to read it. Yeah.
People were feeling it. Our next poet was definitely moved. I guess I'll let her say that for herself, but let everybody know how to follow you. And great to hear you.
Thanks, La Bruja. You can follow me, Unmesh Mohitkar, on IG and Facebook. I got Book Light Shadow Life on Amazon, and I got an open mic as well on Saturday, 8 p.m. India time. I will put the link in the chat. Thanks a lot. You guys are fabulous. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Unmesh. Now, Tukaya Kaila Garcia is up next. Let's unmute. Hi.
Hi. I'm coming at you guys from the occupied unceded lands of the Tongva people, aka LA. And I'm wearing my Going to Therapy is Cool shirt in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month. And I have two pieces today. The first is called My Good Sis D. Depression feels like a bird choking on air, a creature meant to soar whose rhythm has suddenly turned against itself. When it finds me, it's usually after great stretches of hope and buoyancy, after I've started to believe I am a light beam in human form. Just when I think I've become a wave in the ocean, meeting the shore, reaching for life, she greets me with a heavy morning, waking from dreams that tell me the day ahead will be hard and I may suffocate if I don't take good care. Underwater, alone. When it happens, she has a way of convincing me no one else in the entire history of time has ever felt like this, that the world would be better off without the weight of my sadness, that the fight against the dark is so hard, and can't we have just one day that isn't a battle? Can't I truly believe I am safe just once? The feelings of my grandmothers boil in my blood, and I am afraid. They had cause to be. I am their wildest dreams, swept up in a revolution, using my voice in ways they never could. See, their lips were sewn shut, tongues like Lavinia taken, futures stolen by babies they weren't prepared to birth, so all of their dreams were stillborn. And here I am, with all this air and freedom and flowers, born into a time when I can choose and be and do whatever I feel called to, like the wind. And still the suffocation ensnares me, caught in a hunter's trap that was laid for the women who came before me. In their day, it was real and gobbled them up. Mine is a specter, a hologram, an illusion. But the bars and teeth are just as cold and sharp. And parts of me are breaking. How can I convince my heart she is not in someone else's body? How can I rise up and see with eyes that were never imprisoned by men? How do I open my arms to a future they all fought for me to have? Take only the resilience with me as I escape, hold space for grief and joy. But my bloodline doesn't know which timeline we are in. And as we figure it out, depression will continue to knock on my door like a dumbbell in my chest. It slows my pace when I run, an invisible force pushing me backward into another lifetime. I want to stay here. I want to be here. I want to heal here. I must make her my friend. So I leave her offerings every day. I bake her cakes. She eats that shit up, outstaying her welcome without cleaning the dishes. I give her procrastination, midday naps, avoidance of everything good for me, endless mirror neuron experiences, binging shows of people living and doing the opposite of giving in. I give her all my attention when all she deserves is stillness. I give my light even when it's dim, because you can still be of service in the dark. Even though lately I feel so little within this entrapped heart. Oh, to be free again. I want my mind to release her forever. I want my heart and mind to work together, this brain and this sanctuary of my spirit. My good sis D tells me they never will, that I'm fighting a futile battle where no one wins. But even on days when I let her convince me, I know depression is a liar, speaking to me in a honey-coated tongue. Number 2, America the Not So Beautiful. The system isn't a bruise. It's a bleeding open wound. No matter how you try, it won't boil down to black or blue. You want to know the reason why? One is skin, the other a uniform's hue. One doesn't have a choice to hide when the day is done and it's time to clock out. The other is perpetually protected by a nation state's greed and clout. One consistently gets away with murder with qualified immunity. The other is our country's most exploited, oppressed community. America is like an abusive boyfriend who's got a killer smile. gaslighting the world with talk of dreams, burying his own people all the while, bending the rules, bending your arm. He brings us flowers and promises, and the abuse is swept out to sea. Even the founding fathers were slave owners. We're all battered wives of the patriarchy. America is a carousel built on a graveyard, paved over bones, crying out underneath the nation's core. Sacred ground desecrated for oil. You pillage and rape her, then have the audacity to call her a whore. For the genocide and slavery behind our ancestral remains, this country is being called to atone. A land of the free, stolen by colonizers, yet the immigrants of today can't legally call it home. Take something holy and carve the faces of your abusive ex-boyfriend into nature's stony curves. He's so handsome. Why should his face on a mountain trigger your ancestral trauma and nerves? Just erect a statue, make it patriotic. They'll forget what he did if you string the right words together. The white words together. But how do we rehabilitate this revered abuser if on the inside no one heals or gets better? How do we imprison America? Who will rehabilitate him so he knows not to destroy and abuse his people anymore? See, our country's always referred to as a her, but if she were a woman, she'd have already amended her ways and let herself out the door. How do you get off the carousel if the people can't see it's broken? Some are sitting comfortably sipping lemonade while others die drowning and choking. How can our experiences of this country be so different if all of our opportunities are created equal and our potential is the same? Corporate capitalism is the pathology that fuels our abusive boyfriend's game. America says, keep striving, keep dreaming, even though it will never be enough. Most of us are closer to homelessness than being billionaires, but we keep letting them call our bluff. Other countries give their people clean water. Even those without homes have this basic human right. We have the nerve to think we're great when children in Flint can't sleep at night. Others are in cages, separated from their parents for believing in our charming ex's smiling dream. Man, I am ready for America to transition and rise up to her destiny as a generous, loving queen. No monarchy, just grace. The people will follow the ways of her heart. We destroy the carousel, give back the land, honor our ancestors by making a fresh new start. The new America won't allow men to build on top of native graves. She'll tear down the carousel's chains and make everyone feel safe. Rip up the foundation, lay flowers, monuments, and sacred feathers at their feet. She'll uphold justice, never permitting the allowance of abuse to go unchecked or continue to be discreet. This new America, man, she is ready to offer Black and Indigenous reparations. She won't exploit slave labor from our incarcerated brothers and sisters. She'll plant seeds to reconcile the lost generations. See, women like to look at the past. We relish in talking about it until we understand. We try to apologize whenever we're wrong, stand our ground as often as we can. We inherently know that as human beings, we won't ever get things perfect. But we know our children's children deserve us to be better, that the 7 generations are worth it. We love to analyze and philosophize. We cherish learning and growing in order to build and create something new. And when America becomes a woman, she'll have the power to transform too.
What? Tukaya. Thank you. And representing my Taíno nation, I see the symbol on your hat. That's the sacred coquí of Puerto Rico, the Taíno symbol of the sacred coquí. Thank you so much for speaking. That truth, you know, between the depression and oppression. Two powerful things that we're all struggling with and against, but wow, I'm so ready for that America. Let them know where to follow you, Tukaya, Kayla Garcia, and then we're going to go on to Thomas Connor.
At Kylark on Instagram and KaylaGarcia.com. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thomas.
What's going on? How's everybody doing tonight? Powerful piece. I don't know how I can follow that, but I'm going to try. So I got two pieces. Both of them were published in the Cabrillo College Journal. So I'm just going to spit them. You guys heard them before. So I'm just going to go ahead, and this is for Brother George Floyd. In memoriam, I can't breathe. I'm trapped, dragged, snagged under your knee, pinned, locked, unable to breathe. I beg, I struggle, I cry, I plead. Please, 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 I can't breathe. Your weight on my neck for 5 centuries. 8 minutes to eternity, I feel myself leave. I cough, I choke, I beg, I heave. Please, 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 I can't breathe. Death in the air. I moan and grieve. I pray for salvation of any variation. I feel the damnation of this damnation. My death shown on every single station. I feel my heart racing, my neck slowly breaking. I pray for liberation, struggling to crawl. I hear my kids bawl. I beg, I plead, I heave, I seize. Damn, I can't breathe. You mocking Kaepernick while slowly killing me. To you, I'm a pariah, a cop locker room joke. In one swift thunder, the world heard my neck broke. That's the first one. Second one is Strange Fruit 2021. The fruits of our labor, labors for equality. The denial of our inequity rings louder than freedom. Our liberty is frozen by inequity, ubiquitous and effortless. We're slaughtered for our skin, murdered methodically, left to dry like raisins in the sun. We scream for equality. When will she come? It's time for insurrection, clashing for balance, yet slowly we burn. Strange fruit cast into the fires, our souls churn in the urn. These contemptuous roads erode the souls of souls. This is the winter of our discontent that comes with wilted bodies, slowly as we erode. Our tomorrows and tomorrows creep in this petty pace to the last syllables of our recorded time. We are the fathers of humankind. Peace.
Thomas Connor, tremendous wordplay in that last one too. Wow. When was that published?
Actually last month. Yep. I was shocked. I submitted it just to submit it, both of them, and they took both of them. So, you know.
Well deserved. Thank you, Thomas Connor.
Peace, peace, and blessings, y'all.
Peace and blessings to you. Generalissimo Brian Franco is next. We're at the 10:30 mark, almost to 10:30. I want to get to, hopefully get to the waiting list. We'll see. I can't stay too late today. How are you, Generalissimo?
I'm doing okay. I want to come down to Puerto Rico and read on that stage that you were host at. That sounds fun.
Oh, yeah. So much fun. I'm going back to the Bronx, though. I'm going back next week, is my last Thursday here. And then I'll be un verano en Nueva York, the summer in New York City. It's got a lot of gigs and a lot of things, and Puerto Rico month. So, but then I'll be back. I don't know. I'm going to figure this out. But what you going to do for us tonight?
I have 3 new pieces, and this first piece is a little political. You know, I keep on reading these articles about all these voting laws, which are horrible. And once upon a time, one could not buy a sweet, delicious mango in Maine. I cannot imagine what it would be like to be able to grow mangoes in my Maine backyard. I cannot imagine having to wait in line for over 4 hours to vote. I cannot imagine seeing people with exposed guns at a polling place claiming to be observers who are not part of official security. I cannot imagine if I never had to pay a utility bill again without living in a nursing home or dying. I cannot imagine if my polling location lessened its hours to my work hours without a voting day holiday or a mandate for employers to allow people time off to vote. I cannot imagine what it would be like to arrive where I vote to find out I was eliminated from the voting rolls for a technicality I was never informed about. I cannot imagine what it would be like to win the lottery. I cannot imagine what it would be like to discover my voting place has been closed down and the new one is an over 45-minute drive away. I cannot imagine my legislator, who is supposed to protect my right to vote, trying to find a way to limit my ability to vote or register to vote. I don't have to imagine any of this in certain states in the United States of America, except beating the odds of winning the lottery, building a very expensive to operate greenhouse to grow mangoes, or the chance the utility companies will ever give me a pass. I will not let these facts deny me my imagination. The next piece I did in Line Breaks and Bronx Beats, run by Miss Peggy Robles Alvarado. It's called Stark Raving. My madness convinced me to let it stay. It told me it is the antidote to keep my pent-up anger at bay. It claimed to be a beacon to shine a laser beam that will guide me through misguided, errant gaslighting. It avowed that it can filter out all the yellow light so I can see colors as they actually appear. It told me it will listen to all my concerns and keep accurate records so I don't have to remember what I need to forget. And the next piece was also at Line Breaks and Bronx. It's called An Ode to Normal Circadian Rhythms. You accused me of liking insomnia. You said my insomnia wasn't real. You said I only want to stay up late and watch TV. You have the privilege of never experiencing insomnia. The word insomnia itself sounds like everything it encompasses. It is insidious. It is laced with anxiety. It is mentally painful and physically painful and mentally painful and physically painful. It is not a state of awake. It is a trance trying to break free from a place it doesn't know it exists in. It is all the tears that have escaped over the years trying to find their way back to the labyrinth of depression. Thank you.
Generalissimo. Wow. I never thought about insomnia in that way. Thank you.
Not fun.
Wow. 3 new poems of fire. I guess the theme really we have a depression awareness theme. I guess because the month of May is mental health awareness and we're coming to a close, so it's really appropriate to speak on these things and thank you, Generalissimo.
Thank you, La Bruja.
That's a new backdrop you got there today. No fruits or coconuts for Marissa.
No, it's just a small painting that I painted several years ago.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And always great to hear you and see you and your artwork. We're going to keep going, keep it flowing. Let's see what's good now then with Edom. Or is it Item? Let me know.
Hi, it's Iram.
Iram, hi.
Hi. This is my first time in this poetry room, so.
Well, welcome. Are you doing something new or something old?
It's kind of new. It was from like last week or something. It's the newest thing I've written, so.
Well, then it's new shit.
It doesn't have a name. Here it goes. Hope is a beautiful room, created and uncreated in the eye of our minds. If you can make it, then so can I. If I can make it, then so can you. Love is a gorgeous becoming that belongs to everyone, despite what you think, mothers and children, old lovers, young lovers, leaves, flowers, prisoners, birds, sinners, queens, priests, sinners, sinners, sinners. Love belongs to the sinners who swim in their guilt, like it was a pond in my backyard made of digested bones and marrow and blood, like it was made of an infinite replay of faults, and my skin is pruned in poisonous potions that I have brewed myself. There are no guards at the foot of the pond. I stay there out of self-indulgence in the suffering I see fit for myself. Guilt. Absorbing too much of the worst things on earth, becoming a wet sponge for tar, breathe me in like the poison of paint stripper up my nose on a loose night. So love belongs to the sinner. Please let love descend upon poisoned, blackened bodies like a ball of light pushing out miasma, dusty rag beaten on the edge of a thick wooden table, dark clouds in the air. Did you know little pieces of dirt sparkle like glitter in the sunlight? Because even subway trash, subway rats, dirt, dust under your mattress deserves the love of sunlight from a window and the sound of birds on a spring day.
Wow, beautiful work. Oh my goodness. Yes. How can people follow you?
Oh, right. Yeah. It is, I'll put it in the chat. It's Midnight Free Spirit on Instagram. That is all.
Midnight Free Spirit on Instagram. Say your first name one more time.
Iram.
Iram. Thank you, Iram. Great to hear you. Hope to see you again. So, anybody asking, I see Juan is in the room and he's asking about signing up. You have to sign up 24 hours before showtime by visiting nuyorican.org, clicking on the calendar, and then selecting to partake. So that's how it gets done. Okay, now next up, who do we have here? Andy. Markert.
Hi.
Hi again, Andy. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Great. What you
All
got?
right, guys. So tonight, everybody who was here at New on Monday got part one of this poem called White Ninja Vanish. It trigger warning for literally everything. So if you have small children around, you don't want them to hear about literally everything, please move them. And I'm going to roll this back a little bit into part one, barrel into part two, and just dive right in. To catch you up, I'm 19 years old and have been recognized at a grocery store by a checkout clerk while buying cigarettes as the White Ninja. And this is how I got the moniker. All right, here we go. The key to walking into anywhere I find is walking into anywhere like I've already sacked it, like every inch of it has already been taken by you. I have become the barbarian girl. She knows, I know. Two apex predators in a room can tell each other out. We compare, and for a moment, our masterpieces of pain behind one another's eyes. She nods, I nod, she leads me deeper into the house. I swipe a bottle of something as I pass through the kitchen. Why not? When everything is mine, I take note of where the TVs are, computers, pictures. I do so love my shiny things. She leads me into the backyard and I have found my quarry, those baby stoners with bright eyes and mellow vibes, too inexperienced to know better, too eager to seem tough. I clock the weakest one. She leads me to a dark corner of the yard. I hand her the bottle. She tries to touch me. I slap her hand away. She tries to tell me her name. I tell her she does not matter and I do not want to know. Years later, at a meeting, she will tell me that this was the first time a man had rejected her. She shows me the scars of where she carved a game of tic-tac-toe on her thigh to forget it. I tell her it was not my hand that held the blade, but she's safe now. She does not look so sure. I walk into the crowd. I begin to peddle my poison, the familiar laced with danger. I do so with a smile. People begin to accept. I feel so very powerful watching people reach for their own facilitated destruction. I try to take note of how many have taken my gifts. A hand grabs my shoulder, blonde, perfectly dressed in clothes too fine, but not enough to hide the broken. She cries of cheerleader. She cries of popular. She cries of desperation and hunger. I wonder when she had last eaten. Probably the last time I felt full too, flanked by two boys playing at men in leather jackets. I bite my lip to stifle a laugh, body poised for a breakout. I strike first, timed kick to a kneecap, that familiar crunch and a lunge sends bodies a tumble and a scream pierces the night. I let out what I think is a yell as I tear through a house, body wild, boots clomping, tearing through a party that has now found a terror. My mouth speaking in tongues I do not hear. I do not know the curse I am uttering, but everyone who witnessed it does not laugh. Suddenly, I am airborne, crashing through the windows. It is not as easy as it looks in the movies. Glass is so hard. Before it yields into a million tiny jagged daggers, my body stuck in a holly bush. I am bleeding now, brushing glass and thorns from my limbs as I sulk into the night, the monster to the shadows, cutting through the yards before the song of sirens pierced the low drum of mosquitoes. Racing to where I had been, I got away again. I seal my whitest cuts in super glue. Let a soccer mom suck the pain away as she tells me over and over how much I look like her son. I push myself into her throat only to suffer in silence above the gags. The parking lot of the grocery store is quiet now. I offer the clerk a cigarette from my pack. My friends are with us. They are here to bear witness to the story. He accepts. You shouted white ninja vanish, he tells me, and I laugh. And my friends laugh. And he is not laughing. My brother was in the backyard that night. I nod. He just went into rehab the second time. I start to apologize. My friend stops me, hand on my forearm, his eyes reminding me these are not my sins to atone for. And now is not the time. We smoke quietly together now, the heavy hum of silent southern night smothering the words in my throat. In another life, my sponsor tells me I should pay for the damage to find the house, driving through neighborhoods that all look the same. Perhaps there are whole neighborhoods I may suffer. During the fall, I lost most of my friends. I beg God to let me find the house, to make amends so that maybe he just let me keep one, just one. Let me do one good thing so you can spare one. I never found the house. In his benevolence, he spared the two I needed. They are not the two I wanted. The house had become the ninja, vanished into my memory. The horror story now sanitized for dinner party conversation, reduced to an explanation of addiction when eyes don't believe, the revelation of what lurks in my shadow. Thank you guys so much.
Andy. Wow, wow, wow. That was amazing and powerful and vulnerable. And I'm just so grateful that you shared. Thank you. Wow, we are going in deep tonight. I love it. I love it. So powerful. You could see phenomenal work, sharing from the heart. So deep. Wow. Everybody's breathing deep with you, Andy. Paul con queso, what you gonna do? What you gonna do for us, Paul?
Just get into some shit, you know. This
shit.
Our blood supermoon shit. Get you in your feels. So yeah, bro, you're leaving Puerto Rico just as I'm coming next weekend. So timing. But yeah, so I'm gonna plug the book real quick from last summer that we're doing edition 2 of this summer, volume 2 of I Can't Breathe. So if y'all want to jump on the wave, either submitting, or if you want to be part of the editorial board, then you can reach out to me at Paul Conqueso on IG. And I'm also starting a support group, a support space for men called Men Who Heal. So if you identify as a man and you would like to have a safe space to be vulnerable and talk about mental health, healing, and other issues, y'all can also hit me up for that. So I'm gonna get into it. I wrote this yesterday at Peggy Robles Alvarado's workshop also. This first really short piece, which is short is not like me, but let's go.
Oh wait, it's some new short shit.
New short, yeah. My trauma responses are body snatchers. They invade me like poltergeists, like exorcists, grab my wrist and say yes, today. They lead the way down darkened corridors where all doors have deluges of blood waiting to cascade behind them. My traumas are violent. The child who breaks your toy because they didn't get one. The kid in class who steps on your new sneakers because his are worn out. The wounded child who just wants you to look at him, to notice him, to notice he is suffering, but why won't you look at him? He is the invitation to the party you intentionally do not get. Then when you roll up uninvited, you are told this party's dead. I am the party. The pitiful party where sorry is broken language and your attempts to apologize end in anguish, drunk, calling God at 3:33 a.m., hoping he lets you pass that gate just so you can stay a second longer before being banished. Thus you turn this anger into lonely. Your trauma response gets exactly what it wants. You, all alone, nowhere to go, and he is your only company. All right, and the second piece is a little less Vanta Black. It's called I'm a Motherfucking Starboy. These days, I praise my hands instead of cursing them, these once fatal, futile weapons formed against me to ensure I did not prosper, unholstered and lodged in mouth. At my behest, mis manos, my own two hands, pull the trigger, bam. For so long sticking them into the cave of my throat, never learning the allegorical light which stood at the top of exiting, completely ignoring what mom said about talking with one's mouth full. Fully aware that I could never talk to God, wrist deep in my own mandible, this orbitable pole, beating orbitable bone against porcelain, knuckles meeting cold tile, flecked and biled. You know what it's like to be a survivor, barely surviving night by night. When these sheets of stars fell, my nocturnal shell would descend upon the shadows to feast on myself. But I am learning to manifest different now than self-destruct. No more soul-suck blue in ruin, trudging through failed unions where we could always do or have done something different to split the multiverse and create a brighter timeline. But see, we get what we give. We must accept such self-inflicted scars, the faded stars we paint with glow-in-the-dark mercy, and learn they are not fatal flaws. Life goes on. And the stardust of dying comets can often reconfigure our constellations from abyss into deep seas of congruency. See, I used to think dark was bad, that shame lived in closets, that shadow work meant I was being smothered by pillows held by captors of past, when really the dark is where we are born and reborn again. And so many speak on origin, on hero's journey sojourning through universe, but very few acknowledge how black holes actually be the greatest source of luminous. For so long I swore I was unconsolable, unfixable, a broken bottle's glass neck pressed against my own, antagonizing, do it. You won't. But mutinous had epiphanized, there's no soothing in suicide. Well, yeah, but tell that to my wounded child begging to be coddled like, oh, hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady. Sorry, I had to sing. Yet who am I to impose light on a stone not yet ready to be warmed, immersed in war? So I waited for years, 4, then 8, then 4, wanting confirmation I was broken. So much easier that way. You don't have to pray or do the work. You can just sink fully into that sunken place, sunk in face, gaunt and pale as gargoyle, turning stone in night, waiting on the signal to become my own dark night, owning we can't all be white, and growth comes in shade, facing this gray mattered truth, my demons, and all the harm they do. But listen, this here is my declaration of safe. I am a motherfucking star boy navigating flight despite all of my shadow. I know I'm a descendant of the light, and I can use these hands tonight to catch such spells under flower, blood, moon, aftermath to conjure healing rather than falling back into the harmful habit, slowly wasting myself away, injecting the pain of esophageal stick-ups, violent hiccups mixed with hostage talks with God. I clasp my hands to pray, and they offer me grace like I have never felt in this Jesus age. I release my desperate cling to things I know will only lead to my ruin. So I step away from this pain that became my undoing.
Paul con queso, aka Paul con fuego. Wow.
Love y'all.
Man.
Thank you for holding the space. Thank you for holding this space to make people feel like they can spit whatever shit is on their heart.
Yo, it's a privilege. I feel so honored and privileged to host tonight. I really do. I really, really do. You guys are just immense. And Paul con queso, thank you for creating a space and holding space for men to heal. That is beautiful. And you are a descendant of light. I'm not the only de la luz in the room. You know what I'm saying? Po con queso para los necios, para que tú sepa. Huepa. All right. Bill Elkins is next. Let's see what's good with.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Can I?
Oh no, not that again.
I hear you, man.
I don't want to create any sonic booms or anything here. Anyway, my name's Bill Elkins from Long Beach, California. I like to do an original. It's entitled California Sunshine Spring. Hope you like it. Wild spring flowers blossom under deep blue sunny skies. April showers nourish plush greenery ever so far and wide. Majestic snow atop our mountains melt, unveiling gray and alpine green. The mighty Pacific unleashes titanic force upon our beaches, coast, and stream. California sun burns off coastal fog, warming our mountains, desert, and lands. We absorb its warmth while we play in our parks, fields, and sand. We plunge ourselves into cold waters to give our bodies an effervescent shock. We honor the night when we gaze at stars dancing to the circadian clock. What an existential treat to awaken to a springtime breeze. What an existential thrill to awaken to a springtime chill. All living things dance and sing in Mother Nature's fluorescent dream. California sunshine spring, Mother Nature's fluorescent fling. California sunshine spring. Wild spring flowers blossom under deep blue sunny skies. April showers nourish plush greenery ever so far and wide. Majestic snow atop our mountains melt, unveiling gray and alpine green. The mighty Pacific unleashes titanic force upon our beaches, coast, and stream. What an existential treat to awaken to a springtime breeze. What an existential thrill to awaken to a springtime chill. All living things dance and sing in Mother Nature's fluorescent dream. California sunshine spring, Mother Nature's fluorescent fling. California sunshine spring, California sunshine spring. Thank you, everybody.
Bill Elkins with that original piece, California.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you, LaBrua.
Great job. Thank you, Bill Elkins.
Thank you.
Now, Rosalind, here in the Boogie Down Bronx, Rosalind, one of the reasons I can't get into the waiting list tonight is that I'm still editing a piece and Rosalind is involved. We're doing a piece. It's going to air next Friday.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yes, I was up all night editing your piece, actually. So I was with you all last night.
Oh, how comforting that
Yes,
sounds.
optical illusion. It's going to be great. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Yes,
Can't
yes.
wait to share it. But for tonight, I'm going to share a piece called Fallen Sisters. She will walk in the room with the weight of yesterday's sorrows and still have a master plan for tomorrow. She yearns for the day when she isn't just a pit stop, where people come to unload and recharge. She absolutely laughs much more than she cries, but way too many tears have filled her eyes. She's unthreatened because she's had to swim in troubled waters since the womb. Unthreatened, not to be mistaken with unbothered, fearing no man because she's never been fathered. Every day she aims to become more like the man that she wants to marry and less like the one that would catcall her straight into the kitchen. If only they would listen. But when she raises her voice and stands her ground, she's labeled crazy. She's guns, roses, and daisies. She never keeps all of her eggs in one basket. Every attempt to keep her tame loosens the straitjacket. When Eve came from Adam's rib, did that mean she inherited an unspoken debt, giving him license to silence her? She screams to be heard. The roaring rage is trapped in her rib cage, her heart beating stronger for her fallen sisters. She screams to be heard for the mujeres who have been killed, abused, and mutilated. Ovaries shrivel in fear for my unborn daughter, and just as much for my unborn son. Creators of life forced into death, they fail us all when they fail one. What have they done? Andrea, Ikeishla, now gone, mothers, granddaughters, sisters, daughters, victims of slaughter. Ni una más. End poem.
Rosalind, ooh.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Bruja.
That was beautiful. Yes. One of the poems that I'm working on is the femicide poem for our piece because of the state of emergency here in Puerto Rico. But thank you for articulating the trauma and truth and what needs to be changed.
I love you guys.
Love you. Okay, now we're gonna go to class with el profesor, Mr. Tesosomok. Apple for teacher.
Hi, I'm gonna use my cell because my internet took a dump. So let's jump right in. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We're good? Okay, thank you. This piece is titled Rematriation, Rematason. We support the full sovereign expression of all our indigenous relatives and believe that it's through the process of rematriation that we reclaim our identity, our culture, and our ways. Much of our cultures are deeply rooted in our Earth Mother and celestially connected to the matrial uterine lines of our families, our people, our nations that extend beyond this world. My father passed away back in November 8, 2006. It was not a surprise nor a sudden event. He had been fragmented in place for over 8 years in a Delano nursing home. In 1998, he was diagnosed with leukemia, cancer of the blood. He was a typical banal Mexican man from the ranchos, what they call a cheddar, not the cheese, but the ranchero. He was driven by the materiality of his subjectivization. He was a man prone to what Josiah Luis Alderete calls the chinga tu madre blues, a default exclamation when buttressed by situational impotence, typically paired with the si no me la puedo coger failed proposition. During his chemo treatment, he failed to take care of his latent diabetes and he suffered several strokes. The irony of the Chica Tu Madre blues is that he survived and recovered from leukemia, but his totality had been shattered by the catastrophic strokes that he had suffered. He began to enter long, enduring fragmentary flows of mental health and decomposition. There were the physical violent episodes where he broke doors and sheetrock walls. My mother, the weathered and worn, was the good soldier, but the war was bigger than her. Like a good Adelita, she refused to abandon the battlefield, but conceded, and we finally took him to Delano Hospice Center. It was a good, clean facility, recently built, and my uncles lived within minutes of the facility and would visit him when my mother couldn't. Migrations are transgenerational traumatic events moving at different velocities. My grandfather came with the Bracero program of 1942, Mexican cheap labor to buttress the Second World War. He was the anchor pulling across space. The suspended lives that needed to disconnect from the materiality of their biooriginalism, más cariñosamente conocido como tu terruño, the deterritorialization of ribosomal organelles ripping through endoplasmic reticulum and nuclear envelopes, shattering the 4 strands of eukaryotes and prokaryotes RNA, unwinding my progenitor. Today, my father is buried in Delano at the North Kern Cemetery District off of Garces Highway. It wasn't the one my mother had paid for. She had allocated 2 spots in the Forest Lawn Cemetery, even though there is no forest left, but just lawn, with tombstones and mausoleums. A small epitafio signaling the El Reposo, the rematriation point, the rewombing, the gestational maternal reclamation. At the interment hole, we gathered as a sanguinal collection of strewn DNA strands vibrating and rattling in an attempt to heal a wound. The Catholic priest swung his golden ornate thurible with its mirthy incense like a Foucauldian pendulum, marking the start of reclamation. The priest began to voice the final Catholic sign of the cross. I heard in my mind, in the name of gravitational forces, in the name of the weak nuclear forces, in the name of strong nuclear forces, and in the name of electromagnetism.
Mr. Tesosomok, luz para el espíritu de tu papá. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. A cheddar, like ranchero. I learned so much, like your vernacular, is so just intriguing, and it just takes me places. So thank you so much for your poetry, for sharing that, and and just light for your father's spirit.
All right, thank you. And folks can follow me on Instagram under Gaseous 2019. Thank you all for hanging around, and the internet gods are going to hear from me.
Well, you made it through, so they're in your favor regardless.
Thank you.
Okay, ahora we're gonna end it with Ed Poetastic Foreman, the fireman foreman.
Hey, La Bruja. How are you?
I am great.
That's great. You're looking muy bonita as usual.
Bill Elkins thinks I look exhausted. Do I look exhausted? I am kind of exhausted. I was up all night editing, and I have to stay up all night editing. That's why I can't get into the waiting list. But thank you for asking.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
Well, are you ready for some smut to get you out of your rut?
Yes, smut for the rut. Let's do it. In the butt.
Yeah, let's do it in the butt. Hey everyone, my name is Ed Fireman. I want to burn your nights to give you a sensational fright to bring you into newer heights so you can enjoy my erotic delights. So let's just get the show on the road. This is called Deep Pink Blue. Flawlessness is in your being, your scrumptious skin going together with mine. Looks like it's time for our worlds to collide. Let me orally illustrate it by filling your lines. Let's begin to feel the increased jolting up our spines. I feel a little bit sexy. You know, I want to get super messy, time to get loose, jittery, and sweaty. Are you in tune with my sexual feelings now, baby? Searching for those hidden spots. I want to make you mine. I'm going to make your body shake, rock, and pop. Our worlds will come alive while they aligned. Relax and lay with me tonight. Bask beneath the stars. It's going to be a magnetic sight. I'll take you to Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, and Mars. I'm going to explore each section. Your pink page will turn, turn, and turn. You're going to receive a large bookmark of satisfaction, so good you'll never come back or return. Relax your yummy body with those plump lips. Let me travel to your tunnels to take a little dip. Around your corners, hidden creases, and wet doors, these hands can do wonders. I want to burn your secret beating core. You're going to embrace this energized, orgasmic Joseph Thunder. Looking through those cute flickering eyes, I see a sexual paradise. Do you feel that? Time for you to get unchastised. I'm going to become one with your butterflies. From each stroke, each touch and kiss, the sights of pleasure. Trust me, I'm not going to pause or miss. Please don't mind this vibrating pleasure. I want you to know these sexual explicit words are true. Let's bask in lover's glow while I travel to avenues towards your deep pink blue. I have to taste your juices, some liquid on my burning tongue. Come on, be wild, free, and loose. We've almost just begun. We lose our minds. It feels so freaking lovely. Am I on your bare chest and behind? Come on, jump faster, my cute, yummy bunny. Best of my skills and abilities, we made the sun come back to life. I think we're done from the midnight activities. Now to drift on between the sheets to a sleeping sight.
Hey, poetasticness. Thank you, Ed, the fireman foreman, for leaving us on a heated note. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thank you, DG. I'm sorry I couldn't get to the waiting list, but I will see you all next Thursday, my last Thursday here in Puerto Rico. Until next time, stay creative, heal yourself. You can become your own healers. That's one of the reasons I even called myself La Bruja, was to awaken the divinity within us all. I'm not the only bruja. You're all brujos and brujas. It's all about how you use your magic. Be well, my loves. Mucho amor. Much light to all of you. Thank you.
Buenos noches.
And it's never too late, so don't debate or procrastinate. Just write it down like you just can't wait, because what you say just might be great.
Potastic. Love it. Woo!
Woo! Good night, everybody. Buenas noches. Mwah!
Noches.